Tom Baker, this is Chasing Cars, and today I'm driving the BMW 530e, a new plug-in electric hybrid version of the 5 Series that gives you 43 kilometers of electric range before the 2-litre petrol engine kicks in. And that's the big thing about this 530e, you can commute in it without ever needing the petrol engine. But then on a road trip, it's better than a full electric car because all you have to do is pop in a tank of petrol rather than waiting for a huge bank of batteries which might take hours to charge. The second big thing is the price, and that's because the batteries in this 530e don't cost you anything extra. Impressively, the 530e is identically priced to the conventional 530i with which it shares all of its equipment at $108,900. Now that's very compelling. Why wouldn't you buy the plug-in version? What's the PHEV 5 Series like to live with every day? Well, let's jump in and start finding out. Inside, the 530e is largely identical to the 530i on which it's based. So like all G30 5 Series models, it's luxuriously appointed and really comfortable. The leather seats are soft and supple and have plenty of adjustment in them, although I do wish this lovely steering wheel came down a little bit further. You look forward at a digital gauge cluster, which is customized for the 530e, so it gives you charge and energy readouts to let you keep track of what you're using, whether you're using the petrol engine or the battery at that particular point in time. Casting your eye further afield to the dashboard, it's perhaps not as impressive as the massive dual screen setup in the new Mercedes E-Class, but it's still really clean. So you get a 10-inch iDrive system, which is now a touchscreen, or you can use the controller between the seats as well. It's the same Harman Kardon stereo, which sounds really crisp and balanced. The material quality in here is generally lovely, with leathers and soft plastics covering almost everything that you touch. Here in the back, it's identical to the internal combustion 5 Series, so the accommodation is more than generous. The back seat is large, soft and comfortable. It's at an okay angle for long distance touring, and for me at 6 foot, I've got good headroom, good legroom and okay toe room sitting behind myself. But I do have the usual amenities. So there's a fold down armrest here with cup holders integrated in it. There are also air vents back here to keep you cool, although there's not a completely separate temperature zone, which would be nice to have. I asked you at the start, why wouldn't you buy a 530e over a 530i? And if you were nitpicking, it's because you do get a slightly smaller boot behind this standard electric tailgate. So it's down from the normal car's 530 litres to a more Audi A3 sedan like 411 litres. But by no means is that a small boot, and if you need to carry longer items, you can still flip down those rear seats, which gives you a lot more room. So what is it under the bonnet that differentiates a 530e from a 530i? Well, firstly, the 530i's 185 kilowatt 2-litre is downgraded to a 135 kilowatt turbo petrol engine, but it is supplemented by an 83 kilowatt 250 newton meter electric motor. What that means is that the 530e bumps total power back up to 185 kilowatts and torque is a really beefy 420 newton meters. That means this car will do 0 to 100 in a 530i matching and really quick 6.2 seconds, sending power to the rear wheels through an 8-speed automatic gearbox. So, does it feel like a science experiment? No, it doesn't. There's nothing new to learn about it, and if you were to just drive the 530e like a normal car in automatic mode all the time, then you just enjoy reaping a small financial benefit from cruising through town on electric power alone. But this car will really make a difference to your life if you can remember to plug it into the power point in the garage every time you get home, because that means you'll essentially always be cruising around town in electric mode and making a significant financial saving. I managed to get about 45 kilometers in electric mode today, and although the petrol engine had to kick in once or twice, my overall fuel economy was just 3 litres per 100 kilometers, which is absolutely amazing. As I say, there's an automatic mode which blends the hybrid engine with what it needs most, either battery power or petrol power, but you can actually lock the 530e into electric mode and it will only use the petrol engine in intense acceleration situations. Similarly, you can save your battery power for later. So if you're on the motorway now and you know you'll be in gridlock traffic later on, you can actually save up your battery power to use then. So that's quite clever. All the electric technology aside, what's the 530e really like to drive? Well, it feels mostly like a normal 5 Series. There's a couple hundred kilograms more weight in the back, so you do actually feel that. The back end feels more planted and less playful in the 530e. Most people will never ever notice that. The steering is still accurate, if lacking a little bit of feel. The car is really agile though and easy to pilot around town. I'm looking forward to getting it out onto faster roads at some point to let you know how it drives out there as well. With adaptive dampers, the suspension's still very comfortable and the entire experience is near silent. Even when the petrol engine kicks in, it's an incredibly quiet and refined car. So what's the message to take away from the 530e? Quite simply, for most people, this is the 5 Series to buy. It's just as well equipped and comfortable as the others, but you get the enormous benefit of 45 kilometers of electric cruising range, more than enough for a daily commute. If you don't need a performance engine in your BMW, this is a great way to adopt sustainable driving with effectively zero compromise.